Good Friday morning. Here's Kramer's Corner with the daily technical updates. Last day of the week. We started out yesterday on the US market with a very negative tone, but buyers came in during the session, especially at the later the session, lifting the market a little bit. The picture is still the same, however. RSI broke below its lower rising trend line, so there's a downside risk after we got rejected at the 45.40 on the S&P 500 here. So we still have a negative tone, but again, we could be caught range bound between 45.40 and 44.40 here for the next couple of weeks. It's hard to tell. It seems like market is a little bit in a limbo at the moment. More or less the same picture on Nasdaq 100, as you can see, broken below the rising trend line here and could move lower. To change the big picture, to reverse to bullish, well, we need a close above 60 threshold. We need a close above 15,562 level there. So that's key. Seng is closed today, so not much to say about that. In Europe, we have the DAX index. Also negative tone here. Of course, we have 55 below 100, so the underlying trend is negative. Underlying sentiment is negative. Same picture on the RSI with showing a negative sentiment. Also, it couldn't break above the 60 level, not even getting close to it. The AEX Amsterdam also lower. 730 is still the key level to look out for, the support there. Belgium market is still behaving a little bit better, moving a little bit sideways. Still in the cloud here, but 36.96 around that level here, that is key for upside momentum. That should be looked out for. If it can't really close above that, then it is likely to move lower. With the rest of the market also, CAC40 seems heavy. It bounced off the 200 moving average, but the trend is down, and we could see it move to the 7100 here in the next few weeks. FX euro dollar bounced off the support area here, the support at 106.85. And the lower the lower falling trend line here. It's really hard to see, but there's actually divergence on the RSI. So the RSI value right there at my mouse is actually higher than over here, meaning there's divergence on or imbalance in the sell-off here the past couple of days. And that is an imbalance or also a sign of a weakness of the downtrend that could potentially give us a little bit of a correction, possibly up to around 108, maybe even testing the 200 moving average. That is often like a magnitude to the underlying instrument. So 108 correction, possibly testing the upper falling trend line. I expect to see here the next couple of days. The dollar index slowly moving higher, but also expect a little bit of a correction, maybe down to 104 around that level before moving higher. We are in an uptrend also there. Cable just above the 200 moving average. It is in a downtrend. I don't think there's any, but let's check there. I don't think there's any divergence. So it seems like we are about to move lower. Yes, there's no divergence here on the RSI. So, there's not. Sorry. So that means we could see lower levels on cable. It is not unlikely it will dip down below 124, possibly down to 123, but it will be a little bit of a struggle. We will see some corrections up towards 125, 60, 50, 60 level before further downside. But the downtrend is there on the daily, but we should see some corrections. On the weekly, it's 123. We should look out for. Absolutely there. The dollar yen, sellers tried to push it lower yesterday, so maybe that was the correction really. Testing 146.55 support now moving back higher, and I think we could see a move up towards 148.50, 149 here over the next week or so. So fairly strong trend there at the moment. Euro-yen still range bound between 156.85, very close to test the lower level here. But I think we'll see a little bit of a bounce here the next couple of days. We have the Aussie yen bouncing off the lower rising trend line, but I think we will see a break fairly soon. But it is still, the jury is still out. We should break out here either today or Monday, early next week. What is interesting is the 55 moving average. It's kind of putting a little bit lid on it, but doesn't mean it can't be penetrated. And if it closes above 95, well, then we are in a bullish sentiment, a bullish trend with likely higher highs. Then I don't expect this resistance here at 95.85 to be that strong a resistance. On the other hand, if it takes out the lower rising trend line here, well, then 92.80 and 91.80, around 92 is likely to be tested, where we have the 200 moving average coming up. Sterling yen also range bound, but testing the lower part of the range at 183.35. So there's a little bit of downside pressure, but it's still keeping itself inside there. Aussie dollar, not really much trying to bounce again from the 63, 60 level, 65 level. I think we will see a little bit of a further bounce there, but the overall trend is down for sure. On the commodity side, we have gold spot bouncing a little bit. I think we need to zoom in a little bit here. So bouncing off the 200 moving average, trying to move higher. And if we get back above the 55 moving average, so let's highlight it there, 55 moving average, well, then we could have another go at resistance here around 1947, 1950, and the 100 moving average. So keep an eye on that. There's still room to a dip down to 1910, possibly 1900, but it seems like it's fine. Some solid base here at the 200 moving average. Silver touching almost spot on the 786 retracement at 22.81. And I think we will see a bounce here. We still have RSI above 40, so it is in a bullish sentiment. I believe we will see silver bouncing back here the next couple of days towards the 23.50, 24 level. There's some resistance around that level, so that could be key. But I think in general, don't expect the big trend changes here. I think we'll also move a little bit sideways between 23 and 24 here for the next 1 or 2 weeks. Copper is still being sold off. I think we'll see a move to 370, possibly also testing the August lows here around 362. So it seems fairly heavy at the moment. We can see that the RSI is still bearish, in bearish sentiment, negative sentiment. It was rejected at the 60 threshold. So not really that much upside, to be honest. We also have both the 55 and the 100 moving average coming down. So the short-term and medium-term underlying sentiment is fairly bearish at the moment. On the energy side, we have Brent actually formed this bearish engulfing here. It's not textbook perfect, but combined with the divergence on the RSI, we could see a correction down to below 88, maybe down to around 87, 86 here the coming days. But if it takes out, if buyers can lift it back above the peak here at just below $91, I think we'll see a move higher towards 93, 94 level on Brent. More or less the same picture on WTI. Didn't form a a bearish engulfing, but I still think we will see a correction down towards 85, possibly dipping down to 84, 83 before we will see next upwards move. On the yields, got rejected. US 10-year yields got rejected at the 428. It just peaked above at 430. And I think we could see a correction down to around 415 before we start, or we will have another go at the resistance. And again, if we close above 428, well, then I think we will see US 10-year Treasury yields moving towards 448 level in the next few weeks. But let's see. To totally demolish this still bullish picture, we need to close below 4% here. All right, that's all for today. I hope you will enjoy your weekend. I will be back Wednesday next week. I'm out of office Monday and Tuesday. Until then, happy trading.